In the first episode, we established that BoJack isn't comfortable opening up to people, and part of that is that he isn't really comfortable opening up to himself. He doesn't want to be self-aware or reflective, because if he is, he'll have to think about this season's big question. Is BoJack good?
I went to the backyard to burn my only clothes, and the dog ran out and said you can't turn nothing into nothingness with me no more.
This episode contrasts BoJack's lack of self-reflection with the scrutiny he faces from the public as a celebrity. The first scene of the episode acts as a condensed example of that. We see BoJack drinking to forget himself, trying to drown away any self-awareness. Then people start taking pictures of him, making him feel self-conscious and forcing him to think about himself. He lashes out, and then he buries that self-awareness with sex.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
The next day, BoJack goes to the grocery store and finds a box of muffins in the produce section. A seal claims he had dibs on the muffins, and he and BoJack have a petty argument.
I just put them down for a second while I went to the bathroom.
I gotta say, if you put muffins down, they're not your muffins.
It's worth noting that BoJack is clearly correct in this situation. There are many ways to have legitimate grocery store dibs. You can put the muffins in your cart, find someone to guard the muffins, leave a note with the muffins. There are many options, but leaving the muffins unattended and out in the open is not one of them. Back at the house, Diane tries to learn about BoJack's life, but he's very resistant. Again, BoJack isn't comfortable opening up, and when he does start to reflect on himself, he quickly shuts it down.
Normal childhood, and then just get right into the being famous part.
Their conversation is interrupted by a phone call from Princess Carolyn, and her hold music from the musical Cats is on its own a comedic step up from anything in the first episode.
Just a sec, I'll see if she's available.
When you're walking alone, because jellicles are and jellicles do.
Princess Carolyn tells BoJack to turn on the news, and we meet the always delightful news anchor Tom Jumbo Grumbo, who reveals that the seal from the supermarket is a naval officer on leave from Afghanistan.
There is nothing the least bit funny about stealing a meal from Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL.
BoJack escalates the situation, as he is prone to do, and the eyes of the media are quickly turned on him. BoJack does seem to want attention, but his inability to open up to Diane shows that he wants that attention to be shallow, rather than meaningful. And the TV news media is happy to oblige. I love the news ticker in these scenes of ridiculously trivial news stories. Cute child does things on internet. Scientists discover water on ocean floor. Orange juice discovered to have several orange properties. I wanted to write novels, you know. With BoJack's own trivial news story getting out of control, everyone heads over to Mr. Peanut Butter's house, and Princess Carolyn plans for BoJack to apologize to Neil McBeal on Mr. Peanut Butter's reality show. It's the most staged and inauthentic apology possible.
Hello, sir. Thank you for inviting me into your home. It is lovely.
BoJack attempts to add some nuance to the situation, with a speech that criticizes the oversimplification of presenting all troops as heroes and dismisses reality television as an empty medium, but then everyone gets distracted by a bucket on Mr. Peanut Butter's head.
Guys, where am I? Can someone tell me where I am?
As is true of many early episodes, BoJack Hates the Troops could be viewed as primarily Hollywood satire, and if viewed as such, it doesn't have a whole lot to offer. The only real points the episode makes are that celebrity news is often blown out of proportion and that media often lacks nuance, neither of which are particularly nuanced observations themselves. But Hollywood is better viewed not as the show's subject, but as a backdrop to its more character-driven story. And in that respect, this episode is more successful. There's an irony in BoJack's attitude throughout the episode, because he wants people to acknowledge nuance and complexity, but he doesn't view others with that same complexity. Like at the start of the episode, when he lashes out at the girl in the bar, he adopts a sexist and one-dimensional view of her.
Maybe because you're skinny, and maybe because you're pretty, you're used to getting away with things.
It's no better than her perception of him as just a burnt-out 90s star. And BoJack doesn't really view himself with complexity either. He's unwilling to reflect on himself or tell Diane the truth about his childhood. BoJack hates vapid celebrity culture, but he still hides behind his celebrity to avoid real conversations. And much like a dog with a bucket on his head serves as a distraction from BoJack's speech, BoJack has been distracting himself from Diane's conversations by escalating his muffin scandal. In the final scene, Diane points this out to BoJack, telling him that she wants to hear the truth, but that he's been unwilling to give it. and she successfully pushes him to open up, starting him on a path to self-awareness. I particularly love this piece of dialogue between the two of them.
You're not gonna make me look like an asshole, are you?
I don't know. Are you an asshole?
Let's find out.
When you fall on your head, do you land on your feet?
Are you tense when you sense there's a storm in the air?
Can you find your way blind when you're lost in the street?
Do you know how to go to the heavy side layer?
Jellicles can, Angelicals do. Jellicles